Okay, you guys are about to hear the word, so listen up and open up. Go.
Okay. Well, I was trying to avoid this for about like 3 weeks now, so I guess I'm tired caught on. I'd be like, oh no, Mike is doing it this week, and I keep going. But I feel like every time that I talk to God, I was really trying to figure out what to talk to you about. And I realized that we ask God for a lot. And yet we ask and we ask and we ask, hey, I really need money to go on this missions trip, or I really need money to do this, or my parents need a job. But honestly, how many times do you say thank you? And be like, hey God, thanks for providing my parents a job, or thank you for letting me have a great day at school. And I realize that sometimes I've literally been telling God, hey, I really need this to go well, and I barely spend like 10 minutes with him every day, and that's all I do is ask. And like Micah says, you just need to listen instead of keep going. And I realize that, sometimes we can all keep saying stuff and wanting stuff and keep talking to God, but yet we don't listen. It's like in every friendship, if somebody else does 75% of the work and somebody else does 25, it's not going to work out. You're practically being a friend to yourself. You're not being friends with the other person because you're trying to plan out stuff. You're trying to make sure that they're comfortable, but nobody's making sure that you're comfortable. And that's kind of how we treat God. Sometimes we're like, okay, everything's going good for me, but yet I'm not reaching out to this person like God told me to. I'm not listening to what he needs me to do, but yet I'm having all these great things roll out. And sometimes I realize that when I don't pray and I don't thank the Lord, things don't really go my way. Things don't really turn out good for me. Like my dad, he told me that, my dad prays every day, and he's such a good leader to me, and he prays for like 2 hours every morning. He's at 5 and he prays. But this one day, there was a soccer game I was going to be on, and he said, hey, let's all go buy jerseys. Don't worry about it. I'll pay for it. It's fine. So we went out and bought jerseys, and he didn't pray. And that day, he didn't thank the Lord for anything. He wasn't like going bad or anything, but he didn't pray. And he didn't sit down with God. And that day, he had rude people coming up to him, cussing him out, throwing things at him. He came home, his car broke down, everything went really bad. And so he decided to sit in his car and pray. And he was like, I felt like everything was taken away. But then I said, thanks God, thanks for letting me have a car. I didn't have to have one, at least I rode home. Didn't make it all the way, but I have one. And I really feel like we really don't appreciate what God has for us. Am I done? Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna keep going. And I really realize this internship especially, that you really need to start start doing what God wants you to do and quit trying to take more of what he has for you. Just take it one by one. And I'm not saying to be like, oh God, I really need, it's good to keep going, but have you ever sat there and listened to a person complain for an hour? It's kind of annoying. But then you have all these great things, your family's healthy, you're doing great, your school's doing great, you're doing everything good, but yeah, you complain because you don't have, I don't know, the designer shoes that you want, and yet you keep complaining. But God, he still listens, but in a way, you have to make sure that you're always thankful